Welcome, welcome. Come on in. This is going to be a very real Stacey Wassity podcast today, very live and in color, not my usual. I feel very implored to press record with not a stitch makeup, dirty hair. Don't care right now because there's a lot that needs to come out for me, and this is kind of going to be a recap. So if you are just kind of watching me or listening to me for the first time, um, I'm going to catch you up on things, and I think I have a lot to speak on regarding someone entering entrepreneurship, someone who is trying to drop that 9 to 5 W-2 corporate lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. It's been quite the journey the past, I don't know, 6 months plus or so, leaving that world by at first not my choice, but then now it's continued to be my choice to stay away from it because I had a lot of realizations where that lifestyle is not for me. I've always kind of known that, but I have had a hard time putting that into action and putting that into motion. And today it's a little bit coming full circle, and I'm starting to understand the roller coaster and the crazy feelings of this journey I've been on since being let go from my last job, which was the highest paying job I've ever had in my life. For someone without a degree, it was traditionally a great job, and I was climbing the corporate ladder, but I was continually and progressively becoming more and more unhappy. I made this big move across the country last year, dropped everything, changed my life, bought a home, and just did, a lot of, because I knew I needed change. So I did all that, made extreme changes. But then as a year went by, I still didn't, there was something missing. I still didn't feel happy. And I felt a lot of more deep rooted sadness and felt out of place. And yes, some of that was, imposter syndrome and, you know, different things related to the move. And that was its whole journey in and of itself. But I'm trying to make my life again. I feel like I have been lost for so many years. Myself and my spirit at my core has just been out of the building for a long time. And the past, I don't know, 6 years, maybe 7 years, I've kind of been, waking up and realizing who I am, what I like, what I don't like, and the journey that I want to be on, which I'm this year just starting to kind of, and even more so in the past couple months, being okay with and actually embracing that it's changing. My path and my journey where I'm going is going to continually change, and I'm kind of, like enjoying that, like not knowing what happens next. Which, if you're like me, traditionally I'm very much a planner. I like to control things, all that good stuff. So that's a lot of fundamentals with me um, that I do struggle with still, but I'm really turning the tide and trying to kind of change that. But what I really want to talk about today that's on my mind and it's been weighing on my heart today, and sorry, this dirty hair is driving me nuts right now, but I came to a lot of realizations and I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is really the journey that I've been on, kind of making me feel this way. And wow, what the hell? Jobs, 9 to 5s. I can't believe how much they actually mean and how much they impacted my life, and they impact us all. And we don't even realize it. So many of us don't have a single clue how much a job really makes us, especially when you're in one that you're not fulfilled with or you're not being challenged with, and all that stuff. But I realized that since I've been let go from this job and I've continued to stay away from, trying to go back to that corporate lifestyle, I realized today I am also grieving that life. I am grieving that person who I was. I am, as much toxicity I know that it was, and as much, discomfort and unhappiness it brought me. I'm realizing that it was my life for decades, and it was a big part of me. We don't realize, you're spending 8+ hours a day at work. Some people, nurses, doctors, lawyers, people who are spending at least 10 to 12 hours a day on the job, a minimum of 3 to 5 days a week, sometimes more. It becomes your life 80% of the time for most of us. Your job becomes a part of you. It is like an appendage. And for me, kind of, I'm feeling like a sense of relief as I'm saying this because, aha, right? I have lost a part of me for the past many, many years. And that path has evolved and changed a lot. But I've always kind of clocked in and clocked out, or I've done my job, you know, even when I was on salary, I've done my job. And then when it was time to be done, it was done. No matter where you think you had the cutoff, 80% of your life, sometimes more for some of us, is and or was the job. So I'm realizing how much baggage that's given me, and I'm giving myself a little bit of grace because I'm trying to get into the entrepreneurship like side of things and do my own thing, finding out what I really love and going on that journey, which I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm doing business coaching now. And it's really funny or ironic, I should say, that I'm doing that because if I look back at my life, I've been doing that forever. I've been doing that since my stepmom decided to buy a salon of her own when I was, I don't know, 10, 11, something in there, right? I was young when she had bought it and started from the ground up. I was like her little extra limb, and went with that journey, the highs and lows of that. And then I don't know if you know beauty shops, but there's a lot of people who are talking, a lot of networking goes on in beauty salons. And I started helping others throughout that process and family members and people that I've met along the way. I just kind of have always gravitated towards helping business owners. And I really enjoy not the consulting side. So I really narrowed in and figured out that I wanted to be a coach because I enjoy helping the person. And the more that I kind of came to this realization, I, found that the person makes the business. No matter how large the company, you can have the most badass Fortune 500 company. There's always people and a person behind every part of that. No matter how automated things become, no matter how much AI comes out into the world, you still have a person behind pulling the strings, and your business is only as good as the person. Uh, and I'm not always going to work with everybody. And that's kind of the really cool thing that I've found joy from because I can work with whomever I want, and and I've already gone through some little like, um, how should I put it? Um, Situations where I've talked with business owners and people who run who and the operations managers and things like that lately who maybe don't want to hear what I have to say. And it's funny because a couple of them I see them putting in place things, little by little, what I was hinting towards, and I'm good with it. Like I'm happy that no matter what, I could be a part of that journey because I know now from many years of working on myself that a person's reaction is their own. It's not mine. It's not personal. It is not really directed towards me. When someone reacts a certain way and they don't like something, or they have a little bit of anger or attitude about something, it's not me that they're actually reacting to, it's their self. So I'm okay with it when I don't, necessarily click with someone, because maybe down the road they will grow as well, and maybe we'll click again one day. Or if not, if I can help someone, I am elated to help anyone kind of come to a conclusion on their own where they want to go. So, anyways, that's my little how I came to the conclusion of um, the current journey that I'm on, which is being a business coach for business owners, and um, really, really enjoying that. And I've actually done that full time. I just kind of had different titles before with that. I've done it full time. I've always done it behind the scenes. I've always done it, in addition to my 9 to 5 jobs. I've done a lot of side hustling and a lot of things like that. But I've always had a component where I've helped business owners, always. And I've been on both sides of the coin too. So I think I really have a good feel for the employee side of things and the owner side of things. So I really am a great mediator in that aspect, because it's important to understand the people working with you in order to be successful too. So, you know, a lot of my experiences kind of come to that. So I feel like I'm in a really unique spot where I questioned myself for a long time when I kind of came to this conclusion, and really tried to put the pros and cons and more cons on that list, because I thought, well, I don't have an education, right? I don't have all these certifications, but if I really look at my life and if I look at the people that I've helped, every single one of them has had success in their own right. Whether they've sold their businesses, whether they're still, successful, whether they're making, most of them are making a living today off of their business. So I've kind of historically proven that I can do it, and that's what keeps me going. So, okay, so going back to the 9 to 5 lifestyle, how I kind of came to this realization that it wasn't for me. It 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 kind of came full circle to me today, in the sense that I realized it's like a toxic ex-boyfriend or a toxic boyfriend, right? Because, or partner or whatever, because you know that it's not good for you at your core. Like, something always bothers you about it. There's red flags, all these things are happening, but you still keep going back for more. No matter how much I climbed the corporate ladder, it just, and I feel like I might have said this already, but it just really feels like a toxic partner. And it is a toxic partnership, because your job is a part of you. What you do to financially make yourself, or whatever you do with your time, whether it's to earn money or to find joy in your life, or whatever it is that you want to be doing with your days, whether you're someone who already has money and you're just doing whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't matter. It is still a job to you. And if you're not doing what you want to be doing, or if you're not doing something that's bringing you some type of happiness or some type of challenge that really excites you, and or brings you joy or peace or any of those things, and you're kind of feeling stressed out about it, or you're not sleeping, you find yourself not getting great sleep and all these things, it's like a lot of red flags. Okay, so anyways, moving forward, as I now tried my damnedest to move on to this lifestyle of working for myself, I realized that there is a weight and there is a baggage and there is grief to go through. And I'm not crazy. It's decades of crap that I have gone through that I am going to continue to have to deal with as I enter this life, as I try to change my life for the better and try to help so many others, um, by trying to enter this lifestyle. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to feel crazy at times, it seems, and I feel better now, kind of knowing that. I hope that can make sense to other people who are trying to do the same thing. And if you're doing that, I commend you. And no matter what that looks like, how pretty or ugly that process may be for you, I commend the hell out of you because I know that this is not easy. There are tears and there are deep low points, some scary low points, and there are deep joys as well and highs. And you have to take the bad with the good because if there wasn't any bad, we wouldn't know what good felt like, right? We wouldn't have the personal power that we have without both the highs and the lows. So, as you and I go through this journey and continue it years from now, months from now, whatever, tomorrow, let's remember that we're in this together, number one. And number two, that whatever we are feeling, it is okay and it is normal and it is justified. I hope that you and I never feel crazy again for feeling any type of way and for reacting and having those emotions kind of steer our path and steer the way that we go throughout our days, whether it's low energy or high energy, um, whether we find balance or not. I hope that we give ourselves grace because as long as we are continuing, as Gary Vee says, to move forward and have good intent in what you're doing, then we're good. You know, it's important to live life with good intent, and I believe that to my core because as long as we are staying true to ourselves, we are not hurting others, we have good intentions. If we fuck up, we make a mistake, it's okay. Learn from it. That's great. Because every time you make a mistake, you know what not to do. You know exactly what not to do. And that is so important to remember that we are going to have a lot more failures that stick out than the successes. It's important to start to remember the successes, the small ones, and enjoy them as they come because it's not about the end game. It's not about the goal. It's about the journey and the process. That's what's so enthralling and so joyful to go through. And I'm trying to remind myself of that right now as I'm telling this to you because a lot of times even I get wrapped up in, even I still get wrapped up in um, my goals and, you know, I need to get to this or I need to do this in order. All of that is noise. All of that is noise. As long as we are being true to ourselves, I think, and we are living with good intent, we have to take the actionable steps instead of fortune telling out these future events that we don't know that are going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what time we have. We don't know all of these things. So it's important to, as I'm realizing, think and remember that it's all about the next step. What is the next step you can take in order to live the life that you want to live or feel the way that you want to feel every day as you are living your life? What is important to you? What is important to me? That's what it's all about. It's the journey. That's pretty much all I can say. If you think this can help someone, please share it. I really want to stress and really kind of want to continue this path on the podcast and what I bring to social media and the world as genuine as possible. And I don't want to, let me rephrase that. I want to cut through the noise and really bring light to the realities that we're all dealing with because if we are not being real with what's going on in our lives and how we're feeling and reacting and experiencing things, we are not doing a service to ourselves or to anyone else. So I can't wait to hear any actions or steps that you're going to take next. If you have any thoughts on this, please let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out. Message me on Instagram, um, Staceyosity, message me there. You can also do comments in this podcast. Several ways to get a hold of me. Don't hesitate to say something. Anything that you feel has been helpful, I would love to hear it because that helps me know what, you need help with or what you want to hear about or what you want to talk about and express. Okay? Have a great day.